How's it going, everyone? My name is Dieugirl, and welcome back to Book 2, Tina's Tale. Last time we left off, we found out the heir of Slytherin had left another message and had taken someone into the chamber. And we found out how the other teachers feel about Gilderoy Lockhart. So, let's continue on with the story. 3.3. The first line in the series, it doesn't say, but the first line comes from Madame Pomfrey. "Who is it that the monster's taken, Minerva?" she asked. "Ginny Weasley." Growling quietly, Tiffany turned and raced back down the hall. Harry and Ron raced after her. "Tiffany, what?" Harry began. "Lockhart may be useless, but if he's going to try to get into the Chamber of Secrets, at least we can tell him what we know," Tiffany replied, turning a corner and rushing into the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom. Besh really didn't want to go see Professor Lockhart. He really didn't. He couldn't shake the feeling that Lockhart was an old fraud. But he ran after the other three anyway, simply because it wasn't in him to leave his friends alone because he didn't trust a teacher. He ran after the others into the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom, and nearly ran into Ron, who'd gotten there just before Besh had. "Ron, what?" Besh started to ask, but then he moved around him and saw just what. Lockhart was moving quickly around, packing things and muttering to himself so fervently he didn't appear to realize that 4 teenagers had barged into his classroom. Besh spoke first, his tone that of utter disbelief mixed with incredulous rage. "What in the name of Merlin are you doing?" he asked, every syllable short and clipped. Lockhart snapped out of whatever rush he was in and stared at them, shocked into inaction. "Are you going somewhere?" Tiff asked, her voice sounding confused. Yes, urgent call, really must go," he managed, starting to pack again. "But that's my sister down there!" Ron cried. "Yes, terribly tragic. No one regrets more than I." "But you're the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher!" Ron interjected, now angry. "I must say," Lockhart replied, still sounding rather distracted as he stuffed something else into a bag, "there was nothing in the job description that—" "Nothing in the job description?" Bess interrupted incredulously. "That shouldn't matter! You're a teacher! Your responsibility is to the students, not your resume!" "After all that stuff you did in your books?" Harry asked before Lockhart could reply. "Books can be misleading," Lockhart said. "But you wrote them!" Tiffany said, and Besh thought, "Now we'll get to the mettle of the man." Right as he thought this, Professor Lockhart cried out, "My dear girl, please do use your common sense! My books wouldn't have sold half as well if people hadn't thought I'd done all those things." Besh blinked once, twice, then closed his eyes in order to maintain control on himself, and counted to 10 slowly. When he opened his eyes, Harry and Ron had identical looks of disgust on their faces, and Tiff had a hard, penetrating stare trained on Lockhart. "Ha! I should have known you were nothing but a fake," Besh said, shaking his head. "You never did any of those things except for smile prettily. You've only been taking credit for what other witches and wizards, the ones too smart to get sucked up into the media, have done." He shook his head again. "There is nothing on this planet, Professor Lockhart, that I despise more than a liar." "Is there anything you can do?" Ron asked, his tone clearly showing that he had the same suspicions as Besh, and had just had his suspicions confirmed. "Why, yes, now that you mention it," Professor Lockhart said, an odd look coming into his eye. "I happen to be extremely gifted in memory charms, you see. Otherwise those witches and wizards would have gone blabbing, and I've never sold another book." "In fact, children," he said, turning around, "I'm afraid I'm going to have to do the same thing to you." He turned around as he finished his sentence with his wand out, but was met by 3 wands and a growling tiger.
"Don't even think about it, Bastero,"
Tiff growled, and had Besh been in his normal state, he would have smirked. As it stood, he simply continued growling as Professor Lockhart slowly lowered his wand. "But children, what good will it do?" he asked them, as Besh flashed back to his normal state. "Plenty," Besh snarled at him, taking his own wand and jabbing it none too lightly at Lockhart to get him to move. Okay, I know this was a short section, but as you can hear, I'm starting to lose my voice again. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. If you like the story this far, please like and comment down below. I really do appreciate it. Special thank you once again to Besh for helping write this story. Take care of each other. God bless you all. And I'll see y'all later. Oh, Lockhart, you're about to get your comeuppance.